So wherever you are, this is KMTV Liberia. We are at the headquarters, the KEEP Liberia, that is Kids Education Engagement Project, KEEP for short. We are in the office of the Executive Director, Mrs. Brenda Moore. Mrs. Brenda Moore, welcome to KMTV.
Thank you, Godfrey.
All right, Mrs. Brenda, what is KEEP Liberia?
KEEP Liberia is KEEP basically stands for Kids Education Engagement Project, and KEEP is a local NGO that works in several counties in Liberia. We're an organization with a primary focus around education. We have 4 major pillars that we operate under. First pillar is around promoting literacy. The second is advocacy. The third is computer literacy, and the last is economic livelihood. So we're a small organization with a big heart. I like to tell people we have big dreams, and our former president said, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. So we tend to dream very big here at KEEP.
Okay, what do you do at KEEP?
Alright, great. So I just mentioned 4 pillars that we work under, and most people know KEEP for the first pillar, promoting literacy. Under that pillar, we focus on promoting reading, promoting a culture of reading. So let me just backtrack a little bit. KEEP, for those who don't know, started during the height of the Ebola outbreak. And the intent at the time was not to really form an organization, but the intent was to see how we could keep children, just like now, who are stuck home month after month, engaged, like keep their minds engaged and keep them ready for school, or get them ready for school. And the idea came to print out lessons for the students and distribute, and a lot of other volunteers joined us, and we basically went from one community to another, carrying out pre-printed lessons, school lessons that we distributed. A lot of people joined us over the months, and we ended up reaching to about 72 plus communities in Monserrado, Grand Chile, and Buffalo, giving out lessons. When Ebola ended, we realized that one problem cut across all of the communities, and that was reading. A lot of the kids struggled to read the lessons that we were giving, and the lessons were actually Ministry of Education prescribed along the Ministry of Education's curriculum. So as someone who really loves reading, loves books, I asked my colleagues at the time and said, what can we do to contribute towards the development of the sector, making sure that kids are engaged? But often we complain a lot about what isn't, and we talk, and a lot of times we don't put actions to it. And I pushed my team members at the time and said, what can we do? And so we decided to promote a culture of reading. But when you're talking about encouraging children to read, and they don't have access to books, they don't have access to libraries, then you really can succeed. So we realized very quickly that a lot of the schools, whether public schools or private schools, did not have libraries. And so we decided, okay, we're not going to do typical library, because a library is typical library is a huge building with a lot of variety of books. So we said we'll do reading rooms, basically a room that has a lot of books that kids can, take advantage of. And so, but of course we didn't have one, and we decided to pool resources, and in 2016, I think it was April or May, we opened our first reading room on Duport Road, and that just propelled us into doing more reading rooms. And in the last 4 years, I would say 3.5 years, since we opened our first reading room in 2016, we've been able to open 18 reading rooms across the country. So a lot of people know KEEP for creating these mini libraries around the country. And I like to stress to people that our work is not Monrovia based. Our work is in the counties.
That was my next question. So are you in all the counties, or you're only in Monrovia?
Oh, no. In fact, no, we're not only in Monrovia. We currently have libraries, mini reading rooms in 8 counties. We have rooms in Monserrado, we have rooms in Bon County, Grand Bassa County, Grand Chile, Buffalo, Riverside, Maryland, and I'm leaving one out, 8. It skipped my mind now, but we have 8 in 8 different counties. So we have a total of 18, Marquis Marquis County. Yeah, so we have 8 counties, and I have office in 4 of those 8 counties with physical presence in those 4 counties.
Okay, so do you have plan to cover the whole of Liberia?
Yes, that is our short-term goal. We intend to cover the entire 15 counties with libraries, and we're hoping to do that as quickly as possible and then circle back. So the intent is at least every county should have at least 2 rooms as the first base. And then once we cover the entire country, then we'll come back and start to add up on the existing rooms in different counties.
So the libraries, what are the categories? Are they for the children, for middle age, or senior high and university?
A great question. So primarily we focus on primary school, but we have 2 categories of rooms that we develop. We have the reading rooms, and we have learning resource centers. Now our learning resource centers, we have 3 of those right now, has books from preschool all the way to 12th grade, and those ones also have computer labs where we also train people in the communities how to use computers. And then those rooms, we have books for adults as well. And then the ones that we do in the public schools, actually we focus on primary school students. So we have books there for older kids, but most of our books are focused on kids in primary school. And the reason being, if the foundation is strong, when the child gets to junior or senior high level, then they're already good. Because there's no subject that a child can do that they will excel in if they don't have very good reading skills. So reading, as far as I'm concerned, is the most important subject that can be taught in schools. So we have 2 categories of rooms, as I mentioned: reading rooms and then learning resource centers. And we currently have resource centers in 3 counties: Riverside and Buffalo counties.
Okay. I saw something last week. I don't know what I'm sure. I saw a little reading center somewhere around the YWCA. You care to give us information concerning that area, and then what has been keep involvement during this coronavirus, and since the children are not allowed to go to school?
Yeah. So one of the things that we do to promote, we do several things to promote reading. You can't put a chemistry book in a child's hand and tell them to love reading. They're not going to love reading. Yeah. So we focus on leisure books, and that's why if you look in any of our reading rooms, you'll find a variety of leisure books, storytelling books, basically there that the kids can enjoy, fantasy books. And so we have regular reading sessions, in-person reading sessions, where we'll go to the school and then we'll call the kids and they come and have a reading session with them where we read a story or they read a story. And we ask questions from there to gauge comprehension. We teach new words every day. And we used to do that every week in most of the rooms in most of the counties that we have rooms. We have staff that will follow up with the schools and make sure the kids actually have reading sessions. We have reading clubs. But then, we've been doing that for a while. In fact, in February this year, we launched our national reading campaign. And the intent of that was to just get a lot of parents interested in reading, getting their kids interested in reading, and just creating that culture of reading. And one of the things I'm very excited about is that since KEEP started in the last 3-4 years talking about reading, I'm seeing a lot more organizations now talking about reading and talking about how can they get more kids involved with reading, or how can they create libraries. So for us, it's already showing that our efforts are being recognized and replicated. When Corona hit, we had to stop the in-person reading sessions. We'll come to the school, up to 100 kids who come, we'll have 2-3 hours of reading sessions. And it kind of got to us because it's a great, we look forward to that time with the kids because they can engage their learning and all of that. And then we thought among ourselves, what can we do to still engage the children during with reading? And the idea came to do storytelling sessions on TV. So we started a storytelling session on Tama TV a couple of months ago now. And it's been going very well. We've been getting a lot of feedback, positive feedback. We also realized that not a lot of our population has access to TV. So we did several things to make sure we expanded our reach. One was to start also a storytelling session on radio. So the TV sessions usually cover about 30 minutes. So we did a condensed version for radio for the kids. And it's about 10 to 15 minutes, and we do a story that gets aired on about 4 radio stations right now, Power TV, ELBC, and ECOWAS Radio, and Truth FM. And we've gotten a lot of calls from kids that will call and say, because we have our numbers there, and they call and give feedback on how they enjoyed the story, what did they learn, the new words. So we started doing that, and we also linked up with MTN, and MTN made our website 0 rated. So those who want to watch our storytelling sessions and don't have TV but have a smartphone that has access to internet, and they're using MTN, they can actually watch all of our videos at no cost. So we started doing that, and it's been going great. And then the Ministry of Education, once the schools were announced closed, started learning by radio programs, where they will basically teach different subjects on different radio stations at different times. And we wanted to make sure that the students that we work with would still have access to education during this period. We did an informal survey calling some of the club members and their families to find out how they were keeping engaged and if they were taking advantage of the Ministry of Education's program, and a lot of them complained they didn't have radios. So we said, okay, what can we do to support them? So then we bought up to 500 phones, and we started distributing them in the counties that we have physical presence in. We gave the phones with the instructions to make sure the kids tune into the radio stations to catch the lessons based on the schedule that we provided, which was the Ministry of Education learning by radio schedule. And it's been an amazing 2 months since we started that. We've gotten a lot of feedback from the parents. I mean, parts of it have been frustrating, which is just a reality. Some of them can charge the phone. Some of them have challenges tracking which station and all of that. But for the most part, the kids have really taken advantage of it. So we even have videos that we're going to be uploading this week where we did monitoring to see how the kids themselves know how to go to which channel on the phone. They'll look at the schedule and know that, okay, math is being taught today at 10:30 on ELBC. They know how to go to the phone and find the little station and tune in and follow the lessons. So that has been really, really encouraging for us. We distributed phones in Grand, Chida, Papulu, and Monserrato. And we're looking to doing the same thing in Riverside, where we have our other county office. So those are some of the things that we've been doing since the coronavirus closed schools and all of that. Recently, we partnered with Osiwa on another project to make sure.
That is my next question. You just jumped into my question. So I told you, I saw a book launch. So what was that lunch about? So
the lunch, it was actually a soft lunch, and I was teasing people that Corona is going to teach us how to do, just like Ebola did, how to do things differently. And so rather than have a big event, normally when you're launching something, you have a lot of people there, and we said, okay, we can't do that. We have to think differently. And so we decided to just do a soft launch of a project that we got involved with recently with Osiwa. For those who don't know, Osiwa is the Open Society Initiative for West Africa. And it's an early childhood project. It's a project that focuses on kids 8 and below, 7 and below, talking about Corona. And let me get you a copy of the book, just for those who didn't follow the launch. So this is the book. This is our latest production that we're so excited about. And we launched this on Saturday, and present were the Assistant Minister for Education, Minister Felicia Dosoma, along with Madam Massa Creighton. And the intent of this project is to engage the younger ones. A lot of times projects come and it's geared towards older kids or adults, and we wanted to make sure that we get the message of Corona down to the little ones. Because Corona doesn't discriminate and say we're only, going to infect older people. But when you're explaining complex things to younger children, you have to be able to do it in a way that they connect with it. It has to be fun. It has to be engaging. And we wanted, of course, to make sure that it's also educational. So we developed this book, and the book is free, 100% free. We've also made sure we launched it online on our website. So it's online on our website, free of charge, 100% free of charge. So you just need to go to the link that we give. It's www.keeplib.org/download/ all I need to know about Corona. So the link is there. And the intent really is how can we educate very small children about the coronavirus in a fun way. And I'll just quickly go through some of the activities that we have in the book. So, for example, if you want to talk to the child about what does the virus look like, we have images of the virus here, but it's round like a circle, and the child has to connect the dots for the circle, and then at the bottom the child has to trace over the letters that spells circle. When they trace over it, they also have to write out the letters as well. So it's a way of them learning how to spell, it's a way of them learning shapes, and it's also a way of them learning how to write. So just on one activity page here, you have 3 different things that the child can do. At the end of the day, the child can also color the image. And every page has a parental guidance. So for every page, you will see here where we give guidance to the parents on what the page activity involves and what they can do with the child. Another page, for example, talks about connecting the dots. And of course, it talks about the virus again. And there are activities here that the child has to do. So you connect the dot, and then the parents now use this as an opportunity to talk about the virus. You cannot see the virus with your naked eye. This is what it looks like. And then there's another page that spells the word corona. So the child is going to learn the word corona, but the child is also going to learn how to spell the word corona. The child is also going to learn how to write the word corona. So there are a lot of fun activities that we have lined up in it, and it also has different ways that the kids can understand in very simple terms what the virus is about, and each of them gives an opportunity to color. Early learners like to color, and there are several activities like I mentioned. So places not to touch, your eyes, nose, and mouth. It has information also on healthy hygiene practices. So it doesn't just focus on what is corona, how can you avoid it, but it talks about things like making sure you exercise. And exercise can be fun. You can tell the child to do jumping rope or playing or whatever, eating healthy, making sure you sleep. And so the book really gives parents, the book is really a great tool for anyone with a child that is young and wants to understand any and all about the coronavirus.
Okay, what's your final word?
My final word is parents need to be able to find ways to engage their children during this time positively, but in fun ways. So we have, for us here at KEEP, our work is focused on children, kids. As our name says, kids education, we focus on kids. And we want to see parents being more involved with the education of their children. We want parents to find ways to encourage their children to read more. At least 30 minutes every day, make sure your child gets a book to read. If you don't have access to book, we also have one of our reading rooms that we've made open at the YWCA in Congo Town. It's open from 9 to 2 every day. You can stop there and pick up a book for your child to read. It's 100% free. You just need to come along with an ID card, and you have to come with a commitment that you will read and return the book in good condition. While the books are free, if you damage our books, you will have to pay for it, because books are very dear for us. So encourage your child to read. If you don't have access to books, you can go to our YWCA room. That's one. But also, more importantly, we're not going to be able to print thousands of copies of these, and that's why we've made it available on our website. So I'm really encouraging people to go on our website. Regardless of which part of the country you are, you can download a free copy. No money is attached to it.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so that was Mrs. Brenda Moore, the Executive Director of Kate Education Engagement Project, Keep for Shop. My name is Godfrey Bedu Kwanzaa. This is KMTV. Bye-bye for now.